Hello everyone, welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Today we're going to be taking a look at another traditional knife from RoseCraft Blades. But before we jump into that, I just want to give a good shout out to Mickey over at Hillbilly Ridge Outdoors. He sent me an email, said some very kind things about my channel, said he really enjoyed watching it, and I really appreciate that, Mickey. Thank you very much. So please go check him out, give him a sub and tell him that Slippy sent you. Hillbilly Ridge Outdoors on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and he has at the bottom it's a really cool yellow design, some guys on a campfire, got some mountains in the background, and we have God Bless America at the bottom there as well. So again, Mickey, thank you very much for that. Everyone, please do go share him some love, give him a sub, and go watch a load of his content, drop a load of comments on his videos. Let's see if we can get his subscriber count up a little bit. Fantastic guy. But as I mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at a knife from RoseCraft Blades. And before I jump into that, I just want to say that I am now a RoseCraft Blades ambassador. So this was sent to me to the channel free of charge by Andy Armstrong, the designer of this knife. I know a lot of people like to know whether the knife was free or paid for, but if you're familiar with my channel, you know my reviews will always be honest. And I will always say what I like, what I don't like. The knife, me paying for the knife and the knife being free is not going to affect my decision, or if I like the knife anyway, what shape or form, I'm always going to give my honest opinion on it. But let's jump into it. It comes in this sort of beige style craft paper wrapped around this box with RoseCraft Blades, the interlocking R and C. We make knives for people who love knives. We've got RoseCraft Blades on this side and again on the reverse of that too. We have the little pull tab sort of ribbon, this is a drawstring box, and then we have the model number and the make at the end. So we have the RoseCraft Tanasi Lake Teardrop RCT017, and this is in the Bora blue bone. And before I get it out, I just want to say it's absolutely beautiful. Made in China. And on the bottom again, you get the interlocking RC with their logo, China down here, and again the model number and the barcode. But let's put the box away and let's take a look at the knife. And inside it, the knife comes with this little sort of modern style desiccant. Keeps the knife sort of free from any sort of moisture. Not sure how that works compared to the old desiccant bags, but it obviously works or it wouldn't be in there. But here it is, Tanasi Teardrop, if I can get it out of the box. Good thing about that box though as well is it keeps the knife nice and secure on its way to you. There's no real movement for it to jump about in the packaging, so you know it's not going to come to you bashed about. Easy to store, not too bulky, great packaging. But here it is. If you look at that blue bone on there, the Tanasi Lake Teardrop from RoseCraft Blades. And honestly, this is some of the best blue dyed bone I think I've ever seen. I love the way the natural bone material takes up the dye. So you've got darker patches, lighter patches, you've got swirls down here. And again on the back, so you've got like the darker patches where it takes the dye more, lighter patches where it doesn't take it as much, but you can see it's dyed all the way through. None of this sort of dip dye, it's really submerged and dyed properly in there. Single bladed teardrop design then. We have a closed length of just a tad over 3.5 inches closed. We do have stainless steel bolsters integral with the liners, so the bolsters and the liners are all one piece. We have a steel back spring on there as well, and there is not a gap to speak of on this thing. Flawless all the way down. But this is the way that all the RoseCraft knives I've had have been. All the ones I've paid for up until now have all been flawless. I've not really found anything at all. See, we have the, is it stainless pins on this one, or are they nickel pins? It looks like stainless pins on this one to me. We do have the stainless steel rosebud shield returning on this one. Lined bolsters, slightly squared off, no pinching on this. And then that classic teardrop design where it's sort of slender, goes into like a bit more bulbous here, then goes out. And I will say, one of the things that John mentioned, Thrifty Kniffy, in his review, the end of this is a lot more rounded compared to the case version. The case version is quite pointy, but my personal taste, it doesn't bother me either way. I like them both. We do have a nice stainless steel sort of end cap on this as well. immaculately flush. All you can feel really is the difference in the texture of the material from the smooth bone into the sort of the brushed or sort of semi-brushed bolsters, and the lining on this one as well. Exactly the same with the front. You can feel that shield, but obviously it's a different texture. It's not sticking up at all. Can't feel any sort of sharp edges on this. Even the tang has got nicely sort of rounded over very slightly, so it's not sharp enough to catch in your pockets. Gonna have a half stop on this one. As you can see, there's a flat end to the tang. One of the things I love is the long pull. Nice half stop, that classic sort of spear point design. Nice little bit of swedging at the top here. Got the RoseCraft tang stamp, and then on the back you have Andy Armstrong's Maker's Mark, D2 steel, and then RCT017, the model number. And just listen to the lockup on this thing. The action is phenomenal. I'd say it's about 6 to a 6.5 pull. And for me, this has got to be my favourite sort of size knife. I said it in previous videos, sort of 3.5 inches to 3 3/4 inches is really sort of the Goldilocks zone for me. And I knew when I got this out of the box that I was going to love it based on the size, purely for the fact that I love the Cane Creek jack, and that is pretty much an identical size to it. So if I bring this here and we'll have a little look at the comparison. So the Cane Creek is coming in 3.5 inches. This is ever so slightly bigger, very minute amount bigger. The blade is a little bit bigger, I will say. So blade length on the teardrop, we have 2.75, 2.8 it looks like. And on the Cane Creek, we're looking at pretty much 2 point bang on 2.75. So you do get a slightly longer blade on the teardrop, but that sort of 3.5 inch size really does, it's just a great size of a knife, especially for my sort of size hands, got like medium hands. Get like a nice 4-finger grip on there. It's not overbearing in size. You can really fit it in the palm of your hand and it pretty much just disappears. Wonderful action. Got that D2 blade with the satin finish on there. You can see that edge is immaculate all the way down to the sharpening choil. It's very even on both sides. Swedging again on the reverse. Catch that there. And look at the nice thick stock on this for a smaller blade. And then it really does get down to a nice fine point. And this is the sort of knife where you can get your finger up here and do draw cuts. It's got a nice tip for piercing as well. Really nice action. Something that RoseCraft have done superbly well, and they continue to do so. Total length of this one then is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.4 inches total. For the guys in the UK, we'll do the blade measurement. So it's 2.8 inches and then a cutting edge of pretty much bang on 2.5. So this is going to be a very UK friendly knife, and it's honestly, it's such a beautiful carry. It's going to be sort of a gentleman's carry for me for this. But being D2 and a slightly thicker blade stock than most knives this size, you can definitely do some work with this and not have to worry about it at all. But this is going to be going straight in the pocket, and I'm going to be carrying that in my slip from MJ Hood's Griff over on Instagram and on the Discord. It fits perfectly in there. It's going to be my carry for a few days. I really want to put it to the test, but look how that fits in there. But there we go, guys. That's my review of the RoseCraft Blades Tanasi Lake Teardrop. That again is RCT017. Now these will be dropping on Heine Haynes very, very soon. They actually arrived yesterday with them, so I would say within a week they'll be up there. So make sure you're getting your hands on these. But as again, I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.